Without good blocking, your team's not going anywhere. Cisco blocks cyber attacks for customers around the world, including the entire Fortune 100 and the NFL. Because when the game is on the line, and it's always on the line, the NFL relies on Cisco.
Works hard. Good skill set, works hard, learning. Young player, developing player, but he's getting better.
Does he look like a guy that maybe could play both spots? I always think about when you talk about with Matt, like, back in the day, being like.
Yeah, Whitley's played both spots. Lowe's played both spots. So.
How about Lowe too? How would it sit? Like, what could you
No, they've both been good. I'm glad we have them. Good to work with, and they're getting better, and so yeah, it's good. Glad we have them. We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, playing a tackle for right now.
Coach, what has Ty Montgomery brought to your team over the past couple seasons?
Well, I played one game last year. So.
This season, I guess, specifically?
Yeah, no, I mean, he's great to have, versatile guy, really smart. He's got a good skill set, plays in the kicking game, do multiple things offensively. Missed most of training camp this year, all the preseason games, but he's been able to, get in a couple good weeks of work, and glad we have him, glad he's back. Glad we have him back on the field to work with. But he's a talented guy that's really smart, has some experience, and is able to do some different things for us. So it's good to have that kind of versatility.
What did you see from Isaiah Wynn last week?
Yeah, well, I mean, he didn't play a lot of guard here, but he's made the transition inside. I mean, his frame is probably more of a guard frame, but I mean, obviously he's played tackle, but they have Armstead out there, so they moved him inside. But looks like the same player we've seen. Strong, he's athletic.
For the Dolphins, Bill, there, young pass rusher there, Phillips. How talented is he? Looks like he had a pretty disruptive game this past
Yeah,
week.
he's a very talented player. Chubb on the other side. Just three guys inside are pretty good too. So they have a good front. Strong, big, strong, disruptive front. Hard to block. It's different than what we saw last week, but similar in that they're both very good. They play a little different structure, but it's a lot of good players on the line of scrimmage.
Philosophically, how have you seen their scheme change after the more Brian Flores-oriented defense to now Vic Fangio's system?
Right. Well, Flores wasn't there last year. Neither was Fangio, so it's kind of been a. But in any case, I think Holland put it pretty well. I think he said that what they did last year and what they did this year were 180 degrees different. So he would know better than I would. He's down there, but I think that comment looks accurate to me. So it's probably a good place to. Javon should know. So I'll go with what he said.
Bill, speaking about rushing the quarterback, not a lot of blitzing from Fangio, I guess, against the Chargers, but when they did, he was very effective. A couple of key sacks late, and in the third quarter as well. Is it situational, what you've seen over the course of going against his defenses? Is there a knack to picking that time?
Right. Well, I guess it depends on how you define blitz and, what exactly we're talking about here. When they're in their base defense, they bring 5 over half the time. So if you want to call 5 men a blitz, then they blitz over half the time in their base defense. They were in their dime defense. They blitzed a couple times at the end of the game in a 2-minute situation. But look, I mean, Vic's an experienced coordinator, and I'm sure if he sees something or gets a feel for something or just wants to mix it up or whatever, then he's going to call it. They have it. How much he wants to call it depends on whatever the reasons are for the calls that he makes. So always got to be ready for it, and what one team does against one opponent and what they do against somebody else is not always the same either. So But in their base defense, it's 5 guys come over half the time. So that's a lot of pressure.
One game kind of under their belt now in the NFL. What difference, if any, do you see kind of when they make that jump to the second game?
They have a long way to go.
Coach,
They have a long way to go after they play 17 games and go into next year. So we'll just take it one game at a time, and sure they'll learn something every week, and they all have a long way to go at every position, every player. There's a lot to learn. Play against different players every week, and they'll learn something every week by matching up against a different opponent, even though we'll have a couple, 3 games with repeat opponents, but they'll learn something in those games too. But yeah, they're just going against a lot of really good players that they just didn't go against in college. Like, these guys are a lot better than the guys they went against in college. So, and the schemes are different. So they'll learn every week.
Boston College has its red bandana game this weekend. I know last year during the Tewaaraton award ceremony you talked about Wells. Will you talk about that with the team this week, or honor him in any way on Sunday?
Yeah, no, I mean, be with him in spirit, but no, I'm sure it'll be a great day tomorrow. Florida State, right? Yeah. So, I mean, he was a great inspiration to what he did, his story, and his legacy, and what his family and his foundation and everything that he stands for, the way it's been carried forward. I think it's an awesome message, great tribute to him and what he did and what he stood for, and the bandana is really a good signature piece for I think everyone that appreciates and respects what happened and what the message is going forward. So, all right, okay, great, all right, thank you.